Good afternoon, everyone. Please welcome to the stage Professor Richard Taylor, President of PTC and Chairman of the Board.
Aloha, and welcome to the closing luncheon and award ceremony for PTC13, the 35th annual PTC convention. We'll be doing a number of things. I'm here basically just to give you an initial welcome. We'll be talking about some other things, but I would be remiss if I did not note the absence in person of two of our senior colleagues who are here in spirit but no longer with us in person. Dr. Meher Jusawala and Dr. Yael Braunstein, both good friends, great collaborators and colleagues professionally, and ardent supporters of PTC and particularly of the educational and research aspect of PTC. They both sadly passed away this last year. I think of that, and I think of this occasion as an opportunity to acknowledge their work and their passing, but really to celebrate them, because it was based on their work that we're here now doing this. Meher was a founder of PTC. Yael, along with his wife Betsy, made contributions at critical moments in the history of that aspect of PTC. And so I think if they could see us here, they would be very happy and satisfied, and that we are able to honor their contributions in this way. So I think they would really enjoy seeing the awards that are being made, the Jusawala Award, the Braunstein Award, to the outstanding work of scholars that continues the path that they have set out before us. So we look forward to continuing to do that. I just wanted to mention them under the circumstances and welcome you all once again. Thank you, enjoy your lunch, and we'll be back later. Thank you.
And now please welcome Fedor Smith, President, Atlantic ACM.
Thank you, and thank you all for coming, and thank you to PTC for including our awards in this wonderful awards banquet. So Atlantic ACM is a research firm based in Boston, and we've been covering the telecom market since 1991. And one of the key things we found is that there's a real lack of information, particularly in the wholesale space, for customers and for providers. So in 1995, we started doing market-wide customer feedback to gather impartial feedback on the services and products that the wholesale providers are selling to the industry. In 2000, we added the Global Wholesale Report Card. So this study talks to sent out to thousands of wholesale customers, and several hundred of them provide several thousand customer reviews, and based on that, we put together the Best-in-Class Global Wholesale Awards. The categories that are involved in this are several key operational categories: sales reps, brand, provisioning, network performance, billing, and customer service. And then we have two product categories based on a variety of voice and data products. And the product awards are based not only on product quality, but also price competitiveness. This year, we had a total of 19 carriers who received enough reviews to be included individually in these awards. So in order to keep it fair, we decided to create two award categories this year. One for carriers who have a gross wireline revenue exceeding $15 billion, and another category for those who are $15 billion and under in their gross wireline. I'm going to invite Doug Barnett, our senior analyst, to come up and announce the award recipients.
Great, thank you, Fedor. So to start it off, we'll have, if I can get the clicker to work, there we go. Belgacom International Carrier Services, and to come up to accept the award, I welcome Brian Troche and Nicholas Nakruyan. And as they make their way up, they're accepting the award for voice value for mid-sized carriers, mid-sized and under voice value. So congratulations to them. And next, we'll welcome up to the stage Intelliquent for midsize and undercarrier, getting multiple awards here. David Stolaric to accept on behalf. And they won for sales reps, provisioning, network performance, billing, customer service, and data value. So welcome, David. And the last provider in the midsize and under category is TeleScenero. We welcome Brendan Ives up to the stage to accept the award for best-in-class brand for midsize and under carriers. Congratulations. And that's reputation for quality. So congrats. So with that, we'll shift gears to the large carriers. So these are those carriers with 15 billion or more in annual wireline revenue. And first up is Deutsche Telekom International Carrier Sales and Solutions. And for that, we welcome Holger Magnussen up to the stage. And he's accepting the award for brand, provisioning, network, and customer service. So congratulations. With that, we'll go on to the next provider, Orange, and I welcome Isabelle Loren de Roer up to the stage, and she's accepting the award for billing and voice value. And then last, but certainly not least, Telecom Italia Sparkle, and I ask Pasquale Fiorillo up to the stage, accepting the sales reps and data value award for large wholesale providers. So congratulations to all our award winners. There's 6 of them, collecting quite a large number of awards.
Please welcome back Professor Richard Taylor, President and Chairman of the Board of PTC.
It is my pleasure to be involved in the awards given by the Intelligent Community Forum. Last summer, I was in New York last June and represented PTC at the award ceremony when Riverside, California was named the Intelligent Community of the Year from out of 400 global communities that were competing. And I believe we have a scene from the award ceremony at the Steiner Film Studios in Brooklyn. Do we have that? When Mayor Loveridge received the news.
For the first time in 5 years, the Intelligent Community of the Year Award will come back to North America. For the first time in 10 years, it will come to the United States. California Dreaming, Riverside, California.
On June 8th of last year, ICF named the American city of Riverside, California as the Intelligent Community of the Year and added its name to the growing list of the world's most intelligent places. Just 1 month later, the search began for the next Intelligent Community of the Year. the community that will serve as the global model for success in 2013. Today, we name the top 7 intelligent communities, the finalists for the 2013 Intelligent Community of the Year Award. ICF's award program is about far more than picking a winner. Through these awards, ICF collects information on how the world's leading communities succeed in the 21st century, using every tool from broadband and education to innovation and digital inclusion. We share these best practices with other communities. Our motive is simple. We want to re-energize communities. We want to help them develop more prosperous economies, solve decades-old social problems, and revive and enrich their cultures. We want to help them capture the vast rewards of our century's global markets. In October, we named the Smart 21 Communities of the Year. Since then, these 21 have completed detailed questionnaires on their challenges and accomplishments. An international team of academic analysts has reviewed their information and narrowed the list of 21 to just 7. The 7 best examples of economic, social, and cultural development using information and communications technologies. ICF is pleased and honored to announce the top 7 intelligent communities of 2013.
The mayor of the recipient community and called his team up to the stage, and they all stood there sort of sending out tweets and texts from the stage to sort of celebrate their achievement, and again reflecting the strength and spontaneousness of social media. Riverside, at the community at the end of the 19th century, was among the richest communities in the United States. It was sometimes called the America's wealthiest city. Had come back from the near dead and using a telecom strategy and a collective will to seize its destiny. And its story is chronicled in a new book, Seizing Our Destiny, which our next speaker helped to write. Today, we begin the second phase of choosing Riverside's successor, and PTC is pleased to again host the annual announcement of the world's top 7 intelligent communities of the world for 2013. These 7 are chosen by a global team of academic colleagues on behalf of the Intelligent Community Forum, which, as many of you know, is an international think tank which studies the impact of ICT and broadband on economic and social development. Its work was recognized by its invitation to speak at last month's Nobel Peace Prize in Oslo. The ICF's top 7 list provides a model of economic and social development. These communities demonstrate the capacity to collaborate, which may be their distinguishing feature. This year's top 7 power entrepreneurial growth, address social challenges, and preserve and promote local culture. But only one will be named the Intelligent Community of the Year at ICF's annual summit in New York this June, and PTC members are invited to attend, and registration fees will be waived for them. Thank you, Lou. Also, if you're interested in being a judge for the awards, please ask to talk to our next speaker, and it's my pleasure now to introduce him. He's a familiar face at PTC through his work with the satellite industry. Let me introduce Lou Zaccarella, co-founder of ICF and the ICF Foundation, who will announce this year's top 7 selection. Lou? Please welcome Lou Zaccarella.
Thanks, Scott. Aloha. Thank you, Richard, and thank you again to PTC for enabling us to come here and to name the world's re-energized and re-emerging communities, the top 7. I just wanted to summarize for those of you. Todd, can we advance it? Yeah. What we've been up to in the last 12 months since we saw you here. We launched our first institute in North America, so we'll be studying intelligent communities from our own school. Now, I'm a guy who barely, got C grades, but I have an institute on a college campus in Ohio, so go figure that out. Anything's possible in America. But it is a go-to place for any community in the Midwest of the United States to go and to learn how to use telecommunications to transform their community. So we're very, very proud of that. We also, as Richard mentioned, published our book, Seizing Our Destiny. It is the story of Riverside, California, and 6 other communities that came back from the dead. And we encourage you to take a look at that. Richard mentioned that on behalf of the International Intelligent Community Movement and all of you in the telecommunications business, we represented you at the Nobel Prize last month in Oslo, where I was asked to speak about telecommunications and freer and more open societies, and it was a great honor and thrill for all of us. We also launched a final initiative, which was the Rural and Remote Program, Project Brain Gain, where we are going to eliminate the middle of nowhere, and we are going to make hometowns safe, profitable, and socially purposeful for any community on earth. So we're very excited about that. So thank you for letting me do my report here. Todd, if you want to advance it for me. How do communities get on this top 7 list? You know, everybody asks us that question. And here's how they do it, if anybody has a community that's interested. Todd? We base it on 6 criteria. You can see the 5 permanent criteria here. One is we look at your broadband access. We look at your knowledge workforce. We look at innovation in your local government. And believe it or not, at the local level, governments actually work today. You have very, very collaborative councils and very, very enlightened mayors and city councilors and people in the academic sector who are really getting the job done. Will Rogers once said, if you think life moves too fast, go to the post office. But if you want to have hope again in politics, go to the intelligent communities and listen to their leaders. We look at digital inclusion. How well are you bringing everybody in the society, in the community along? Are you connecting to educational networks? Are you connecting to telecommunications and healthcare networks? And are you bringing the least among us along? We study that. And then finally, we looked at how well you tell your story to both the rest of the world and yourselves. Finally, we add a 6th theme each year, which we study. This year, it's innovation and employment. We're going to look at innovation as a job creator for the 21st century and what its impact is. So if you fulfill those 6 criteria and you achieve at a very high level, you make our list of 21, and then if you're really, really good, you move on to the Super Bowl of the top 7. Todd? I won't take you through the selection process. It's rather cumbersome. It's a 10-month program. No bathing suits allowed in the competition. But if we did it here, I guess we could. But the important part, and I want to do a shout out to the quantitative analysis that's conducted by an academic on every continent. We have 5 of them. Their pictures are there, and they do the real hard work of looking at the data from the 21 communities and telling us on Monday who the top 7 are. So I wanted to thank Professors Albert Flournoy, Tomoko Kanawaner, Professor Choel, and also our friend Mr. Tamayoko from Japan, or from Africa. Okay, let's get down to the business here. Who are the 21? Who are the 21 communities who among the 400 or so who submitted nominations made it to the list? And here they are. If you live in any one of them, congratulations. If you don't, you might think about moving or making your community one of those 21 someday. I would like you to applaud them because people are listening back home. So these are the 21. Most intelligent places. Okay, as you can see, some of them are not known. They are in other places of the world that you wouldn't think would be intelligent communities. Thank you. Including Albania, where we had our first intelligent community. Now we're going to go to 7. We didn't have a Pahu here this year or sound effects, so I'm going to ask you, unfortunately, to just put your fork down for a second and give us a little drum roll. So here we go, the top 7. I wondered how long you could keep that up. That's fantastic. Thank you. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, the top 7 intelligent communities of 2013 are Columbus, Ohio, United States. They have reversed 3 decades of brain drain, and for the first time in 3 decades, have more people moving into Columbus than not. They've created 29,000 jobs in the last 2 years through collaboration with Ohio State University, through a new incubator, and through a dedicated broadband ecosystem that reaches out through the region. So congratulations to Columbus, Ohio. Number 2, Oulu, Finland returns to the list. This former industrial city, about 200 kilometers north of the Arctic Circle, built a tech-based economy around a Nokia research center. Unfortunately, Nokia had a few problems, but they had built for themselves a strategy called the Nokia Risk, and as a result, they were ready. When Nokia went down, Oulu remained intelligent. They've created 18,000 new high-tech jobs, and they have a decades-old culture of collaboration. So we congratulate Oulu, Finland, for their return to the list of top 7. Number 3, we're going to Canada. We're actually going to go to Justin Bieber's hometown, Stratford, Ontario. True, 32,000 people and a lot of 14-year-old girls who visit. At the turn of the century, Stratford had a reputation for being quaint, cultured, and out of the way. It doesn't have that problem anymore. As a result of what it has done with its Wi-Fi and broadband network, its International Shakespeare Festival, which it has hooked up to its digital media messaging, it now is building a reputation and attracts foodies, cyclists, and other target groups throughout the year. The city of 32,000 generates $139 million in revenue, Canadian dollars, each year because of what it has done with its broadband network hooked up to its culture. So we congratulate Stratford for its return to the top 7. Must be a Canadian out there clapping. Number 4, we're going to go to Asia and Taichung City, Taiwan. This is another community that returns to our list from last year. It has a range of different economies, a major seaport where 70% of employees work in services, a rural economy, and it is a very, very diverse mix of services. The backbone of Taiwan's manufacturing economy, it has a network of 1,500 precision machinery makers and tens of thousands small to medium-sized business suppliers. Its small companies now benefit from a shared cloud-based ERP system that reduces their purchasing cost and time to market. Taichung has become such a cool place as a result of becoming an intelligent community that last year Lady Gaga went there to sing. Congratulations to Taichung. Who's next? We're going to go to Europe. As a matter of fact, we're going to go to Estonia. Tallinn, Estonia. When the financial crisis came, it hit Estonia and its principal city very, very hard. Yet beneath it all, Tallinn had built a foundation based on information technology and education, and has been able to withstand one of the worst crises to ever hit Europe in the modern era. Its return to growth has a sustainable basis in what? In education and entrepreneurship. 23 universities and technical schools. It has the resources to build a knowledge workforce, and it has. And it continues to expand those skills. Tallinn, I'll give you a little anecdote, has more lawyers per square foot than any other city in the world. And that had to be a lawyer's parent clapping. But congratulations to Tallinn, Estonia. A very, very smart place. Number 6, Taoyuan County, Taiwan. We've got 2 from Taiwan, I'm sorry. Taoyuan County is, of course, another city of about 2.8 million. And it's an industrial powerhouse with more than 24 industrial parks, 44,000 companies, and 10,000 factories. It has the youngest population in Taiwan, and interestingly, it has an e-learning portal that attempts to provide every resident with customized learning. Congratulations to Taoyuan. And finally, number 7, we're going to go back to North America, Toronto, Canada, as they call it, where I live, New York City with manners. It is a great place, Canada's largest city and financial capital. It is challenged, however, to maintain its edge. It is the nation's most expensive city and is experiencing a very, very significant immigration-driven population surge, but it is handling it. It is building the largest waterfront redevelopment project in North America, 40,000 residential units. It will be served by a 1 gigabit fiber-to-the-home network, which integrates green technologies and practices into every aspect of its design. It is going to be the engine for Toronto to sustain its economic growth. Toronto also has a gaming and fashion incubator there to give you a sense of how important those industries are and how important telecom is to them. So Toronto is our 7th community. We go from 21 to 7, and you can applaud them. They will each be in New York, and you can spend 2 or 3 days learning from them, and we certainly encourage you to do that, June 5th through 7th. If you come and attend as a PTC member, your registration will be waived, and you can participate in this global dialogue to make our cities better. So again, I want to thank Sharon and the PTC for all that they've done to give our movement visibility and to rebuild places for the 21st century. Thanks a lot. Have a good year.
Please welcome Dr. Elizabeth Fife and Mark Chun, co-chairs of the Research Committee.
Hi there. I'm Elizabeth Fife, the co-chair of the Research Committee, and I'm going to introduce the paper prize winners for this year's PTC 2012 from the research community of PTC, as well as our young scholars. This is a new program we have inaugurated this year. It was quite competitive, and we selected 7 individuals, both PhDs, postdocs, to attend PTC, learn about PTC, become involved. Hopefully this will, the idea is to help the future of PTC research by bringing in the best and brightest of the new scholars that are in the Asia-Pacific region. But first of all, we'll start off with the Student Paper Prize, and I'd like to introduce Alex Bronstein, the son of Yale Bronstein, who is the longtime supporter and founder of the Student Prize for the best research paper, Student Prize paper. So, Alex, if you'd like to come up and introduce the winner of this year. Sorry.
My dad loved the community here at PTC and believes strongly in the research and education mission of the organization, and as well as the value of student work. In that spirit, I'm pleased to award this year's Bronstein Prize to a deserving recipient, Nami Yonatani, for her paper on the role of cable TV operators as a facilities-based competitor in the local broadband market in Japan.
Dr. Jayakar, would you like to come up? Yeah. Okay, next, I'm pleased to introduce the winner of this year's Mihiro Jizuwala Award for the best overall research paper this year. And the winner is Professor Krishna Jayakar from Penn State, part of the Penn State juggernaut here. The title of his paper was a Broadband Bridge for the Disability Divide, What Works and What Does Not. And this paper actually comes out of a PTC-sponsored research project on this same topic. So I'd like to congratulate Dr. Jayakar for his excellent paper. Could the young scholars out there, could you guys come up, get your certificates? Young scholars. There you are. So, like I said, the Young Scholar Program, the idea is to just further scholarship and PTC's role in the future of research and telecom. And we selected 7 pretty exceptional people this year. Not all of them are here, unfortunately, just due to school schedules. So at PTC, though, however, they presented their research. They had duties as sort of academic journalists. They went around to a lot of the panels and wrote up synopses, which you can find on the PTC website, along with their papers. And the award papers, of course, too, are also on the PTC website and will be available. So I suggest, if you have time, to take a look. First of all, I'll read out the names of the people who aren't here right now. So the first is Ibrahim Roman. So he's a postdoc from Chalmers University of Technology. His area of concentration was ICT for development. The second young scholar, who's not present right now, Joe Clark, who's also a postdoc from University of Nebraska at Omaha, and his area of concentration is information systems. And Satish Krishnan is our next. He's a PhD student from the National University of Singapore. ICT for development is his area. And let's see, Guangzhe Jung, a postdoc also from Singapore Management University. Technology, disruption, and telecom is his area. So these are the guys that aren't here, but the people we have a few who remain. First of all, we have Zhuyang Li. His specialty is telecommunications policy, and she's from Penn State. Here. Yay. Next, Arzu Atik, PhD student from the University of Auckland in New Zealand, and her area is information systems. And finally, Sangyup Lee, PhD from Michigan State University, and his area of concentration is media and information economics. So congratulations, guys. Great job. Yay. Oh, you didn't get the first one?
Next, please welcome Greg Daffner, Vice Chair of the Awards Committee.
Aloha! That was pretty good, pretty good. Okay, so we have now come to the final award. And I would say the one that we've all been waiting for, but I think all of the awards were of interest to us. This one is the Richard J. Barber Distinguished Service Award. It was established by PTC a few years ago to recognize the value of a member, staff person, or volunteer who has provided exceptional service to PTC over an extended period of time. The award is named after Richard Barber. Dick was our founding executive director and was, before we named the award, was its first recipient. The committee that makes this determination, which is ultimately vetted to the Board of Governors of PTC, consists of 3 people, and I'd like to acknowledge them. Bruce Drake, who could not be here today, so that's why I am the substitute. Heather Hudson, who is here, sitting over here, and myself. And just to do a line from Lou's presentation, how do you get this award? How does the process work? Basically, nominations are open to really anyone who's given service over the years to PTC, and any of our members can step forward and make recommendations for next year's award winner. And I would entreat you today to start thinking about it. We accept nominations really starting today. You can wait. You don't have to do it right away. You've got time. And then next January, at the conclusion of PTC, at an awards luncheon very much like this, probably with chicken that is very similar to what we had today, will be served along with the award. And I would like to ask 2 of my colleagues, the president of PTC, Richard Taylor, who's been speaking to you all afternoon and throughout the week, and our CEO, Sharon Nakama, to please come on up here and give me a hand in making this award announcement. Okay. Before we have the drum roll, I want to tell you that this year, and it's actually a kind of exciting process. So the group of this little committee, the 3 of us, we get together, we examine the nominations, we take a look at the records, and then we make very hard decisions as to who is more worthy of getting the award. It's entirely possible to nominate the same person more than once, so if you don't succeed the first time. In this case, it was our pleasure to do something a little different. We decided to kind of split the award between an individual and a group that individual works with and represents. And for those of you that don't know it, drum roll, please. The award, which is a beautiful salad bowl. Oh, I'm sorry. What is it? Ah, okay. So it's more than just a salad bowl, but it is functional as well. And maybe it's a desecration to use it for salad, so forget that idea. Maria Koyama, who has been a long-term member of PTC, is the award winner this year, along with PTC Japan, which has been one of our biggest supporters from the inception of the organization, and continues to be a real boost to maintaining our participation in Japan and throughout the region. And so it's our honor to give it to both of them. Koyama-san could not be here today to receive it in person, So instead, on his behalf, Yamakawa-san will step up to the podium to receive the award. And we'd also like to have the entirety of PTCJ come on up here to take a bow and a picture with us. Thank you very much. Mahalo.